Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are, looking at this video. I am Alex, the founder of U Emerge Academy, the company that's sponsoring or is responsible for Transformation Builder. I am the founder of that company as well as the creator developer of the Transformation Builder app. Well, I'm welcoming you. This is a onboarding video. It's a video that's going to talk about how to use this web app. And the application is constantly evolving, but it is going to be a great tool to help individuals in their journey of discovery, their journey to purpose, their journey to have the best version of their life, the life they had never imagined, it coming into fruition and becoming all that they were created to become. So as you can see in this web app, there's the welcome button. We have the start journey, and we have some general buttons or links. I'm not going to spend time on those. I'm going to primarily focus on the buttons that's going to take you into this process to help you transform. Now, keep in mind, this Transformation Builder app is about you discovering yourself. We have here a discovery process right here. Step one is discovery. Step two is analyze change. But before I jump into step two, let's roll back to step one. Discovery of who you are so you know who you want to become. That's what step one is about. We'll look at all kinds of exercises if you want to at that stage, but at some point I will encourage you to look at those exercises. Also, if you keep in mind that you might have an assignment that's temporary, you might have a life purpose that's the span of your life, you might be having a calling to a certain thing. All these you're gonna explore to help you. Those are the additional exercises that you will look at that brings you into eventually understanding this framework for your life. So discovery is the first stage. Step two is the analyzing. So you have a change that needs to occur, and first we need to understand. Once we know who we are to become, we got to look at things we may have learned and unlearned, and we got to make adjustments and take tasks that's needed to make steps in the right direction. But that gets into clarifying focus, which is our third stage. Once we have understood the changes that we need to make, why we need to transform, what the transformation look like, we're gonna now start thinking about the focus that's needed. We're gonna sharpen that focus for specific tasks that we need to be taking to move forward. And once we take those tasks, we need to keep up with them. We might need to put them on a schedule, on a calendar, and they may be week-long tasks, or they may be month-long assignments that have milestones, or they may be tasks or projects or various things that you're going to do over a course of 2 to 3 months or 6 months, but you're keeping up with it. And the beauty is that you're in a community of other individuals like-minded that are in that same process, that you can learn from them, that you can also gain that sense of excitement and momentum with them right there with you. And it can be a comfortable accountability. Others are sharing their small successes that can lead to greater successes. And you're getting this momentum and moving forward to where you are to be progressing to. So let's jump in. So after we've looked at the first page here, now we're actually going to go into starting the journey. So if you've already created a login and password, then you will go to login. But if you haven't, you will click the sign up, put your information in, and then, if you just testing it out, you will do the 3 months. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now that the greatest benefit of using this tool is using let me actually back up. So I don't want to tell you this and you not see it for yourself. Right here under pricing, we have what's called the Transformer plan. That's going to get you up to a certain point. You analyze changes. You will go through the step 1 and step 2. Step 3 is the implementer plan. You'll get step 3 in the implementer plan. So that's going to be an additional cost. You're going to work through those additional modules. You will get access to the journey insights. You will not get that in the transformation plan. You will get an analysis, but you wouldn't get the complete analysis. So it'll be to your benefit to do the full plan, and then after so many months and you've gotten through the material and you walk through the transformation builder program, you would want to continue it. It'll continue to grow, develop. You get more resources. And then if you want the inner circle where you will be getting more attention onto specific projects, that will also be something available. But for right now, let's just look at what you want to jump into with understanding the web app. So we have signed in, and we will immediately get to the dashboard. The dashboard will have, again, a link here to this onboarding video, one I'm doing right now. The welcome transformers, the start here. Start here is actually the discover purpose, which is step 1. And then step 2 is going to be the analyze change or change analysis. And then step 3 is clarify focus. And that's here. So remember, the transformer plan will get you to the dashboard, overview dashboard, all the way down to the change analysis. And then step 3, clarify focus, will get you to journey insights, where you see the full picture. So with the dashboard, the first thing you want to do is hit the start here. Now, this page here is mainly giving us the main links we really want to focus on. We have this navigation, but we don't have to look at all that right now. The start here will take us into step 1. And my book that I've written is where content is being used for the modules. So there's 9 modules for this section, but if you want a full context of these modules, purchasing the book on Amazon will give you more insights. But you have this overview video that will give you a little snapshot of what the first module is about. These videos are actually over in the community. They're here. Step 1, and step 2 has a few videos, and then step 3. So they're in different places to help you get to them easier. Okay, so back over here. And what I have up here are actually other assessments that you will be able to access. I'm going to close these for now because we can look at those a little later. All right, so, and then here's Amazon, where you can purchase the book if you want some reading. And I will tell you this, that you can zip through this information, or you can take it slowly and be thorough and do some deep, insightful thinking and reflecting to get the best answers, the clarity that you need. Now, this tool is to help you, to be a guide, get you to where you may not fully know you're supposed to go. So it's going to be important not to just crank out answers just to see what happens. Now, in my case, I did some testing here. So I plugged in answers. Your answers can be a lot more thorough than what I have here. But you will go through each question, each module with the questions, save your reflections, and then go to the next module. The next module will bounce you back up to the front, top of the page, and then you have overview you can watch for the next module, and then go through those questions for each module. So you eventually get to module 9. When you get to module 9, you will do the same. Then you save your reflections, and then you will see your summary of all your answers. Now, keep in mind that everything that we're doing about ourselves, we want to save it in some PDF format, because we want to use that in the future in one of the last parts of the app. particularly if you have not just the transformers plan, but the implementers plan. Okay, so moving on here real quickly, and I may be moving quickly through this, but keep in mind you can always stop the video, slow it down, rewind, go back and listen to things again. So uh, don't mind me talking fast. You can always go back. So you will click the button here to interpret your purpose. That would be the first stage you will get moving in the right direction, understand some things about yourself. Now, the next thing we want to do is go to step two. We'll go to step two. Now, I want to keep in mind here to let you know that before going to step two, you have a lot of assessments you can do as well as exercises. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at those. We're going to actually go back to the dashboard here. So I'm going to go back to, and right here before I go back, you see there's a print button here. Remember, always use those print buttons to collect your insights and save them all. If you don't see a print button, remember in the browser, you can go to the three dots right here in the top right and go down to the print button, print option. And the best thing to do is go to save as PDF. And when you save it as a PDF, that way you're collecting it so you can upload it in these other places in the web app to give yourself all the insight to the tool to get the best insights for projecting and understanding your future. So if I go back to, you just scroll down here. So we have step two that we can go to, or we can go back to our reflection questions. And I may actually build in some additional navigation. But we have here step two, step three, if we want to get to those easier. And then as you see here, as I scroll down, you see the navigation here to the modules and then a button to get back to the dashboard. Now, and the reason why I'm going back to the dashboard is I want to show you that right here we have, after the start here, which is step one, we had a foundation and exercises. So it'd be important to go to foundations at some point to answer these questions about identity, questions about values. You know, what do you know of yourself, or who are you? Sometimes other people can see more in you than you might see. Values, what are the things that are driving your decisions, your behavior? You know, cause, is there a cause that you already stand for that impacts your heart, that you stand for, and that you know that's something you're supposed to do? A calling, something that you're invited to do. It may be a seasonal thing. And then life purpose is that thing that's lifelong. Life mission also is going to tie in closely with that. Was a mission that you may be on to do for that your life is called to. Vision, you know, what's a vision? What's that thing that you should be building and seeing in your future to move towards? And then legacy, what's something that you're supposed to leave for someone else? And what might be an assignment that you're supposed to be moving into now that's seasonal specific. Okay, so those are the things that you can do that's foundational to discovering your purpose that you can do. And I would strongly suggest doing those before you really move beyond the first step. Then next we have exercises. This is where it can get crazy on you. It can get crazy. If we go back to the dashboard, we see these exercises. These exercises go all over the place. And the point of it is that it's trying to get you to think in a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different directions. But as you do all these different assessments, they will be something you will collect, and you're going to use them in the future to get your final analysis, your final output of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to move towards. So I'm not going to go into all of the assessments, but what I do want you to know is that assessments are right here in the community. And these are good talking points that you can do with your fellow participants that are on the journey along with you. So the assessments, introduction is letting you know some things about the assessments, starting them. There are worksheets, just a number of things that you can get into that's going to help you. Future vision worksheet. What might be something you need to think about as it relates to your future? You go in and move these sliders to what you feel is something that you need to give attention to. For example, it says the current reality assessment. Before you can move forward, understand where you are today, drag each slider, 1 very satisfied or 10 highly dissatisfied. So these are made to be interesting, insightful, and fun. And when you go through them and answering questions, again, you want to save off your information because you're going to use it somewhere else. You see the save as PDF there for you. If you need to start over, you can and work back through it. But anyway, I'm moving quickly because I'm excited, but there's a lot here, and I don't want to be dull and boring to you, but I want to keep you on your toes to move into this with anticipation, excitement, and passion. So here, purpose. These are just some other things that you can gain about purpose. Go through and read and make selections. And if you hit on the buttons to expand, you'll see where you can put in more information. And then when you get to the end, again, save it off, and you want to retain that information. Analyze. All of this is to help you get to that next stage. So when we do all of this assessment up front, then we move to step 2, which is change analysis. So we're getting a lot of understanding about ourselves, maybe where we are, but then where we're trying to go, we're going to have to make adjustments. So we need to understand, what are those adjustments? What are those things we need to change? It might be simply we're not using our time wisely, and that might need to be adjusted. And then I have here a workbook that I also created that this web app was pulled from. But if you really want something on paper or in paper to work from, again, you can get this workbook on Amazon and have some of the same questions, but is in a format that you can write in a book to get your answers. And again, I have expanded this beyond this workbook with all of these additional digital assessments that's going to be highly beneficial to you. So I will say this, for the individuals that are in the transformation or the transformer plan, you are getting a lot of good information. And then for those that are moving on to the implementer, you are going to be ready to start really taking those steps to go further into starting the implementation process. So you don't want to just get the insight, you want to know what are the next things to be done. All right, so moving over here, that's a good segue into the last part. And although I'm saying last part, is really the beginning. And what do I mean when I say it's the beginning? Once you've collected all the information and you now are, you have a sense of what's the actionable things you need to do, what's the actions you need to take, and you are charting it on a schedule, putting on schedule and getting some timeline. It's the community that you're going to be a part of that's going to enrich this for you. You're going to hear from others. We're going to continue meeting, and we're going to have success stories, small wins, big wins. And then I'll be sharing more insight and continually upgrading the app and continue to provide value to you that may lead you to writing a book or doing web apps or building a business or a ministry. Those are options that you might take. And I'll continue to be able to share insights on how to move in those directions. And then if you want the more in-depth one-on-one like sessions, then that will be where you will be in the inner circle. That will be something that will be made available at a certain point. So, but for now, we don't need to be as concerned about that until we are moving in that direction. But for those who are in the implementer plan, you're going to eventually get down here to, after you've gone through the clarify focus, which is the third step, you're going to move to the journey insights. So journey insights will be where you will see the last parts come together. If you were primarily focused on personal advancement, then you will, right here, this is actually reminding you to use all the assessments. Go here if you need to go back to them. But here you will specify what category you're most concerned about. Over here on the left is giving you the insights about what those areas are about. If you're more concerned about your spiritual awareness, keep in mind all those assessments you're doing is focusing on all those different areas: spiritual, awareness, professional reinvention, as well as personal advancement. So whichever one you need to focus on, you will get a category. But before you generate anything, you want to upload all those documents here. So when you upload those documents, you'll plug them in and there'll be a list of them here. And then you specify your category and then you will generate your roadmap. Okay. And then once you generate that roadmap, if I were to go back over here to my PowerPoint that I was trying to use in a previous recording, I realized that I couldn't get everything recorded correctly. But here is what you will see in the Transformers plan. You will get some reporting. If I go to the next page, you'll see another part of the reporting. And then if we go down here to part of what will be in the journey insights, this is action plan weeks 1 and 2. So it's letting you know what you may need to be doing over a course of time. Oh, a month 1. See down there. And then if you move on to zoom that back out. Move that. Oops. And then we go to, oops, I went to the wrong one. So if we go to right here, we'll see the other part. So this is just giving us good insights of what we really want to see in terms of what direction to go. So good information there for you. Keep in mind that a big part of your benefit, one of the richest things about this program is not only will be me sharing insights and continue to build and add more to it, providing more value, you're going to be a part of a community that is on the journey as well. So you'll be hearing from them. Some of you might be sharing some of your projects, your developments. Others might be sharing their small wins. Others might be sharing their great successes or those deep dives, those steps they made to start moving forward. And the point is that it's going to be encouraging and there's going to be accountability in a way that's comfortable. No one is being pressured to do things that they don't want to do, but it is to make progress. So it's all about forward movement. We live in an uncertainty world now, in a future that's not clear, but we still have to live and make the best of it. So we want to thrive and do that in a purposeful and meaningful and an intentional way to have a rich future, a transformational a life and a journey that we intended to have and not one that was just placed upon us. So I look forward to you on this journey and being a part of this program, that you will live the best life and have a transformation that you never imagined that you can share with someone else and help them to see the future that they didn't even imagine could be possible. So I look forward to you being successful in this journey.